We're here now with our OSU Extension Livestock Marketing Specialist, Dr. Derrell Peel. And Derrell, we've been dealing with some pretty good winter weather the past couple of weeks, as we can see with the calves behind us. So has that been having any kind of market implications?
Yeah, there's a variety of impacts that come with this kind of cold weather. It affects producers tremendously. Lots of cold weather creates a lot of management challenges for cow-calf producers. We've seen some changes in timing of cattle coming through the auction, so that's one impact. These storms, depending on what day of the week they hit and so on, impact the movement of cattle through markets. For a lot of cow-calf producers, we're going to be moving into calving season pretty quickly. So if we continue to have winter weather, it will have more impacts. It may be affecting some folks already. And then finally, the cold weather is probably impacting feedlot cattle in some areas. We won't see that for a little while yet in terms of how it might impact performance, but it may impact carcass weights in the coming weeks.
So Derrell, we're almost 2 months into the new year. So how is the beef demand holding up so far?
You know, beef demand has been remarkably strong. Coming into 2025, we continued to see higher prices. The retail prices for January were released, and the beef prices were higher yet again, higher than a year ago, and on average have moved to the highest average levels in a long time, if not ever. Box beef prices have also been strong, and if you look across the wholesale cuts, prices for all the primals are higher on a year-over-year basis, and for most of the products within those primals, it's higher as well. The only exception has been our most expensive beef product is the tenderloin. That's actually a little bit lower than a year ago, but almost everything else is higher. In particular, there's higher prices for some of the lean round products that are being pulled into the ground beef market.
So kind of moving into the U.S. calf crop report, was that a little bit different than we expected it to be this year?
Yeah, the cattle report we got at the end of January had a surprisingly large calf crop. Came in about unchanged from a year earlier, even though the beef cow herd, or the total cow herd, was down a little bit from last year. I think maybe it's a reflection of the fact that high prices encourage producers to try a little harder. Those calves are worth a lot, so they do things. And it's not just on the beef side now. Certainly the beef producers would be doing that, but now because the dairy calves, these beef cross calves coming out of the dairy industry are so valuable from a beef standpoint, the dairy producers also have more incentive to save more of those calves and market more of those calves. So I think that's probably what's going on here.
Yeah. So what are you expecting in terms of herd growth within the next year?
You know, the prospects for herd growth in 2025 for the beef cow herd are pretty limited. We brought in a very small number of bred heifers this year. Beef cow culling has been going down the last couple of years. Beef cow slaughter has dropped sharply. If it drops enough, maybe there's enough bred heifers out there to net out to stable or perhaps slightly bigger herd size for the year, but it looks really kind of like a long shot at this point. I think there's at least as good a chance that maybe we continue to slide a little bit more and see a slightly smaller herd again come this time next year.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Derrell. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.